The New York Jets win 30-6 over the Houston Texans. Don't do it, Jets. Don't give me hope. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Talking Jets with Tigo. My name is Tigo, and apparently Zach Wilson is good at football. We all knew it was going to happen in the revenge game, right? But this is what I think this coaching staff has been talking about all season long, the offense being so close, and I think we saw it for the first time. I still think that we saw a ton of issues, and I'll get into those with the offense, but we were able to manufacture drives because what? Well, one, we were able to open up the playbook because we weren't shooting ourselves in the foot consistently. We weren't on first and long every single play because of a false start or a holding or a thing like that. When we had big plays, they weren't almost always guaranteed to come back. And even behind a hodgepodge offensive line with a guy that we brought in off the streets this week and Max Mitchell back at right tackle and the right side of the offensive line being a turnstile for defensive players who wanted to sack, because Zach got sacked 4 times today. It didn't matter. We were still able to go out there and manufacture a high-flying, a very, very aggressive offense that put points on the board, and the defense continued to stay dominant and stop what is a very up-and-coming offense. And let's be honest, Houston has been hurt. They were without their number 2 wide receiver in Tank Dell. Nico Collins went down early, and that's a thing that you do have to take into consideration. But in really, really bad rain and really, really bad weather, we saw Zach Wilson able to operate the offense, keep the team in it, throw for over 300 yards, get 2 touchdowns, get us into a position to get a rushing touchdown with Xavier Gibson, and we were able to win. And that's the thing. We're starting to see, I know a lot of people have been complaining about Nathaniel Hackett and his play calling and his play design, but we saw that in today's game. Now that we have a win, I think people are going to be able to go into the play calling a little bit more objectively than when we had a loss. And one of the things that I really noticed in the Atlanta Falcons games and a lot of these recent games was players aren't getting open, and when they are open, they aren't turning their head to the quarterback. And this comes from lack of experience in the wide receiver room, and we see that again today. We threw the ball 36 times. One of those was just a toss out of bounds, so it didn't get targeted at anybody, but we threw the ball 35 times. Do you know how many of those 35 targets were at wide receivers? 14, 50, 16 of them were at wide receivers. More than half of our throws were at tight ends or running backs, and that's because those are our best units. Our wide receiver room is devoid of talent, and that's the problem. And this is why I'm kind of okay with the New York Jets winning this game, because by winning this game, it puts us in a lower draft position, right? Technically, because we're going to be, instead of picking in the top 5, if we continue to win some games, we're going to be probably in the top 10. It's going to put us in striking range of the wide receivers and not the offensive tackles, which is what I think is the right move to do. Now, that's a topic of conversation for a different video, and you guys can yell at me on that video. But I think that the real big thing that we got to look at is Nathaniel Hackett, who was calling plays, with Zach Wilson, who we know what he is as a quarterback, behind a bad offensive line, which is what we have right now, right? The middle to left is fine. Becton, Tomlinson, Tittman, that's actually a pretty decent left side of an offensive line. I feel comfortable with that. But I don't even know who was at right guard today. I can't remember his name. And Max Mitchell, they've not been playing well. And Zach getting sacked 4 times. Didn't matter. We were still out there and able to throw the ball a ton. When we didn't have a run game, we had 79 total rushing yards. Didn't matter. We were able to go out there and throw the ball effectively, and it's because we were able to scheme guys open. And when we started targeting the veterans, when we look at the top 4 targets, it's Gary Wilson, Breece Hall, Tyler Conklin, and Jeremy Ruckert. All guys that what have we been saying all year? Throw to these guys more. And when they got the Lions' share of the targets, they got 31 of the 35 targets. 32 of the 35 targets. When we threw at them, what did we see? The offense moving. So let's go get more weapons. Let's go do this thing. It sucks because it almost seems like this offense clicked a little too late. And again, there's still hope. Maybe there's an opportunity that the New York Jets can sneak into the playoffs at 9-8, but that would require us to win out, which is just kind of unrealistic in my opinion. But again, another dominant day from the defense, partnered that with an offense that actually was able to score points, and we were able to go out there, get 4 sacks, get 6 tackle for losses, 10 passes deflected, which is just insane, 6 QB hits. I'm really sad we didn't get an interception, especially because there were like 3 balls that just hit Jets defenders right in the face. I really thought that we were going to get a safety when we put them in that zone. Greg Zuerlein had himself a day, 3 field goals, 3 extra points, just insane, especially a 55-yarder. Thomas Morstead, again, just elite. 3 punts inside of the 20-yard line, which is just insane. MVP Thomas Morstead. It's just a great performance from the New York Jets from what is a team that's still well in the mix to make the playoffs in the Houston Texans. This is not a game that I think a lot of people thought we were going to win or anticipated that we were going to win, and we went out there and we didn't just win, we kind of dominated. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Is it too little, too late? Are you believing the hope? And are you falling for it? Let me know in the comment section below. And last but not least, go Jets.